Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the McFarlane DC Multiverse Collector's Edition Simon Baugh's Green Lantern. Not only that, but this is the Platinum Chase variant. The Platinum version is the evil version of Simon Baugh's from Earth 3. He appeared in one issue, and he's a member of the Power Rings, kind of an offshoot of the Crime Syndicate. These guys have been popping up at Walmart right now. I actually found the Platinum before the regular version, so let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, 22 moving parts. McFarlane Toys, ages 12 plus. DC Multiverse Green Lantern, McFarlane Platinum Edition, McFarlane Collector Edition, one side of the package, Green Lantern from Green Lanterns. This is the 26th figure in the Collector Edition subline. Other side, Green Lantern. At the bottom, there's this barcode, if that helps anybody, but keep in mind the Platinum version barcode is going to be the same as a regular version. And on the back, here's Simon Baugh's from the comics. So with no further ado, let's open him up. Alright, now that this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out. We have a display stand, collector's card, 3 different faces, and then we have 4 lantern constructs. Before I deload all that, let's talk about and check out the figure. So this is Simon Baugh's. Simon Baugh's is a more modern Green Lantern Corps member. He's a human, operates on Earth, but this is the evil version of Simon Baugh's. He's a member of the Crime Syndicate, a member of the Power Rings, which is basically the evil Green Lantern Corps, on a different multiverse. I believe he was in one issue, fought the regular Simon Baugh's, died, but it's a cool idea for a Platinum Chase variant because I would love to build my Crime Syndicate up even more, and using the exact same mold makes perfect sense. I'm big time on the hunt for the regular Simon Baugh's. Went to like 7 different Walmarts, and they seem to all have the Platinum version in my area. So if anyone can help me out, let me know. In the meantime, let's take a look at this guy. Now, this face looks horrible, but it's pretty good for the evil version of Simon Baugh's, but this is what they have, I think, on the regular one too, and I could be wrong about that. This is what this one looked in the package, and it kind of reminds me of Art the Clown. Just the white, the teeth, the red around them. So, the typical Simon Baugh's is black and green. This one is sort of white and black and a little bit of green. He's got this little X on his chest. Not really sure what that's about. Now, he's got this weird junk all over his arm, and it seems like all of them have this. I don't think it's supposed to be that way. He has tattoos on his arm, I believe, but this ain't no tattoo. Now, there is a little tattoo on the inside of his forearm there, but I don't know what all this dark junk is here. Looks like it's done on the Blue Beetle body. Double jointed knees, double jointed elbows. It's cool. I'm looking forward to getting the regular Simon Baugh's, but in the meantime, this is going to be a nice addition to the Crime Syndicate. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt. Good for the evil Simon Baugh's, but I'm not feeling that expression for a good version. Luckily, we have 3 different choices. A closer look at his power ring. I appreciate the fact that it's sculpted on there. It's not just a little green dot on his hand. And then, here's the figure, broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's check out his accessories, starting off with the boring stuff. Here's his display stand, typical McFarlane display stand we've seen countless times before. Only difference is this one has a silver DC at the bottom because it's from the Collector's Edition. And then we have his collector's card. As you can see, it's Simon Baugh's from the comics, but this is the regular version of Simon Baugh's, not the evil one. McFarlane Collector's Edition. On the back, there is a description. If you want to read that, pause now. Now let's look at his faces. He has 3 of them. One has an angry expression, one a normal expression, and one a sort of happy and angry expression at the same time. Here's a look at his first face. This one has the angry expression, and this is probably the face I'm going to stick with this evil version of Simon Baugh's. And here's his regular expression. This is definitely the face I'm going to use for the regular version of Simon Baugh's. And then we have this smiling face. It could work for the regular or the evil version of Simon Baugh's. His left eye is a little bit shut, right eye a little bit cocked. He's got that grin. You can see his teeth. Now let's look at his constructs. He has 3 of them. They're all cast in a semi-transparent green plastic. He's got this glove that's going to fit right over his hand. Got this large hammer. And then he has this drill that'll fit over the other hand. Here's a look at Simon Baugh's holding that big hammer. And here's a look at him with that sort of power glove over his hand, fist. And here he is, doing the same thing with this large drill or screw. And he can actually not utilize them at the same time, as his left hand is a gripping hand, and is a little bit too large to fit inside either one of these constructs. And here's his lantern battery. It's also cast in semi-transparent green plastic, which I don't really agree with, because this is not a construct, this is a physical item to recharge a power ring, but maybe it's supposed to be glowing green energy. Here's the power ring version of Simon Boz, holding that lantern battery. Now I'm going to check out the differences in reuse between Simon Boz here and the Blue Beetle figure. This body's been used quite a bit, and it first debuted in the Blue Beetle and Booster Gold 2-pack. So let's take a look. Starting with their heads, obviously are completely different. Go down to the torso and the stomach, they look to be the same. You can always tell these two abs are sort of protruding at the top. The arms, they look like they're exactly the same too. Same with the hands, the fists. The diaper is a little bit different. He has a belt on him, he doesn't. And I'd say the legs are exactly the same going down. So this guy shares a Blue Beetle body 100%, except for the diaper and the head, and of course the paint job. Here are all the figures that utilize the Blue Beetle Booster Gold body. I currently have 21, and there are 2 others out that I don't have right now, which is the regular version of Simon Boz and the Platinum version of the Speed Force Flash from the Digital Wave. I know a lot of people complained about the Blue Beetle body, myself included. I don't like the wrists. I don't like the way those 2 abs are on the top part of the torso and it looks just kind of weird. I don't like the fact that sometimes they're hard to stand with those ankles. I know they make a lot of sort of dumb reuse decisions, like not using Dead Man's boots, but using the one that has a little sort of cuff at the top. But I'm really happy to have some of these characters. Captain Atom, Plastic Man, Animal Man, the Atom. A lot of them look really good in this body. It's a good, plain, basic, generic body for like a spandex type character. Just, it's okay to make some modifications or use some of the more appropriate reused parts from other figures as well. Now that I've taken a pretty good look at the figure and his accessories, let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, standing about 6.9 inches tall, which can translate to 17.5 centimeters. And for his articulation, starting with his head, of course you're going to rotate side to side. He can look up and down a pretty good amount. Can tilt his head from one side to the other. Shoulders on the ball joint goes out more than 90 degrees. Up, down, around. He's got this butterfly ring between his shoulder and chest, increasing the range of motion and covering the big gap that would be there. Bicep cut, very tight. Double jointed elbows. His wrists can rotate and it's hinged. Ball joint his torso, rotate around, forward and back. Another one his waist, rotate around, forward and back. Between the two, very good range of motion. A little more out of the torso than the waist. Legs completely does the splits. McFarlane style hip joints. Rotation is pretty good on him. Legs go forward that far. Back not much. Double jointed knees. And his ankle. Forward and back. Rotate. Tilt, rock. And toe articulation. Here's a look at Simon Boz in the sky, patrolling for the Crime Syndicate. Now let's check him out, next to some other action figures. I don't have any other Simon Boz figures. There's the DC Direct version. Don't think Mattel made one. Looking forward to getting the regular version by McFarlane Toys. So let's start off by checking him out with some other Green Lantern figures. Here's Simon Boz, next to the Emerald Knight. The Emerald Knight is John Stewart. He's a member of the Power Rings and a member of the Crime Syndicate. Here are all the different McFarlane Evil Green Lantern figures they've made. I believe these are all of them. Can't think of any more upcoming on the horizon, but I'm sure the opportunities will present themselves. Here he is, next to Hal Jordan Green Lantern, both classic and modern. And here he is, next to John Stewart, both classic and modern. Then, next to Alan Scott and Kyle Rayner Green Lanterns. Next, with a couple of Batman-esque Green Lantern figures. And now, with some Green Lantern Corps members. Tomar Ray, Evan Sewer, Kilowog, Arcus Chumuk, and the Green Man. Here's a look at all the different McFarlane DC Multiverse Green Lantern figures they've made so far. Quite a collection. The biggest omission at this point is Guy Gardner, and he's supposed to be coming out in the 9th wave of Collector's Edition figures. And I'd say beyond him, they need to make it Jessica Cruz. And then here's a look at all the different McFarlane Lantern figures. Black Lanterns, Blue Lanterns, Red Lanterns, White Lanterns, Yellow Lanterns, and of course, Green Lanterns. Here are a bunch of different Green Lantern villains McFarlane has made. So Simon Boz here is a member of the Power Rings, which are members of the Crime Syndicate, which is basically the evil Justice League on different multiverse. There are different Crime Syndicates on different Earths, just like there are different Justice Leagues on different Earths. Here's Simon Boss next to the first 4 Crime Syndicate figures McFarlane made. These are from the Star Wave, Owlman, Ultraman, Superwoman, and the Emerald Knight. I personally like to add the Page Puncher Flash as Johnny Quick, the evil Flash. They also released Atomica in the Superman vs. Ultraman 2-pack. She's basically a gender-swapped evil version of the Atom. And we just recently added Simon Boz and Grid. Grid is the evil version of Cyborg, Simon Boz, the evil version of Simon Boz. So here's the McFarlane Collector's Edition Wave 1. Every single Collector's Edition figure has a Platinum Chase variant. Here are both the regular and Platinum Chase variants of the first appearance Superman, the Abyss, and Alan Scott Green Lantern. And here's the second wave of Collector's Edition figures, both regular and Platinum versions of Firestorm, Hawkman, and Sinestro. Then, the third wave of Collector's Edition figures, we have the Death and Return of Superman, Captain Carrot, Batman as Green Lantern, and Wonder Woman. Here's the fourth wave. This wave consisted of Penguin, Starfire, and Captain Boomerang. And here's the fifth wave of McFarlane Collector's Edition figures, both the regular and Platinum Chase variants of Sergeant Rock, Connor Kent Superboy, and Manga Batman. Here's the sixth wave of Collector's Edition figures, both versions of the Red Hood, Clock King and Dr. Time, Ragman, and Agent Liberty. And finally, here's the seventh wave of McFarlane Collector's Edition figures, both the regular and Platinum Chase variants of the Dark Knight Returns Batman, Huntress, and some Green Lantern Corps members. We have Tomar Ray, Evan Sewer, Arcus, Chumuk, and the Green Man. And here is Series 8 of the Collector's Edition. So far, I have 4 out of the 12 figures. Regular version of Lightning Lad, both the regular and Platinum versions of Grid, and the Platinum version of Simon Boz. And since this Cyborg Superman is a Platinum Chase variant, I wanted to take a look at all the different McFarlane DC Multiverse Platinum Chase variants out there. Here are all the sort of older Platinum Chase variants. Gold, bronze, unpainted, and then some newer versions. And here's a look at all the more modern McFarlane DC Multiverse Platinum figures. I am almost caught up again. Currently, the only Platinums I'm missing are the Wave 3 Digital Black Tux Joker and Speed Force Flash, the Wave 8 Collector's Edition figures, Lightning Lad, Mr. Terrific, Chris Reeve Superman, Geo-Force, and then there's the 66 wave Clock King Black and White version Platinum. And I guess the Batman vs. Superman stuff is starting to get out in the US. So I need the Armored Batman and the regular Superman Platinums from that. It's an ongoing journey, but I'm so close to caught up right now. Now let's check him out, next to some other recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here he is, next to some McFarlane Toy Store exclusive figures. We have the Nightmare edition of the Vampire Batman, and both the regular and Platinum versions of Jonah Hex. Here's Simon Boz, next to the Amazon exclusive Arkham City Detective Mode Batman and Solomon Grundy 2-pack. And here he is, next to the Shazam and Freddie Freeman 2-pack. This is also an Amazon exclusive. Then, with the third Digital Wave, Silver Age Joker and Earth 2 Robin. Looking forward to finding the Platinums in this wave. And now, with the Walmart exclusive Action Comics Superman and Hal Jordan Green Lantern. Here's Simon Boz, next to the Arkham Asylum glow-in-the-dark Killer Croc. He was also an Amazon exclusive. And here he is, next to the Target exclusive Sinestro and Parallax Armor and Commander Steel. Then, with the latest Jokerized offerings, Hush, Harley Quinn, and the Last Night on Earth Batman. And now, with the most recent Page Puncher wave, both the regular and Platinum Chase variants of the Rebirth Deathstroke and the Damian Wayne Robin. And finally, next most recent Platinum wave, the Question, Shining Knight, and Effigy. Now let's check him out, next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how he fits in, both scale and style-wise, in case you don't know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a McFarlane toy, they're typically a 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and work way smaller. But first, let's check him out with some of his McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. And now, with some Jack-specific wrestling figures and some Diamond Select toys. Here's Simon Boz, next to a stack of paper plates. And here he is, with some DC Direct and NECA figures. Then, with both some Mattel and Jazzwares wrestling figures. And now, with some Mezco and Mattel DC figures. Next, with some Mafex and Hasbro Marvel Legends. And finally, with some SH Figure Arts and Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, it's a very cool Simon Boz figure. Now, I'm really looking forward to getting the regular one, as he's a whole new member of the Green Lantern Corps and the Justice League to add to your roster. But it's really cool to have the Crime Syndicate version as well. I love adding to the ranks of Crime Syndicate, and I hope they give us more and more figures. Johnny Quick is the one we need the most, but there's really an endless amount of characters they can give us. The reuse of the Blue Beetle body, it's really not bad with the paint job. The abs are not that noticeable. His accessories, quite a bit of constructs. The faces, very nice. I like the fact that they have an evil face for this guy, then you have a regular face for the regular one. If I were to rate this guy, I don't know, probably give him like a 6.5, maybe a 7. I mean, it's a nice figure, but I'm really looking forward to seeing the regular one. That's the one that I really want in my collection. Happy to check the platinum off my list. So this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say to the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.